Okay guys, hear me out. I like Pokepark too. I know. It's not exactly an amazing game, and it does admittedly have some problems, but I've personally always enjoyed the game for what it is and what it offers to the Pokemon spin-off market. With this video, I hope to change your mind and leave you walking away with a greater appreciation for this game. Hello and welcome to the Absolute Gamecast. Today on Hidden Gems, I'll be discussing Pokepark 2 Wonders Beyond, its story, its gameplay, and why I enjoy this game so much. This video will contain some minor story spoilers, so if you want to check the game out blind, please go check it out and watch this video later. Pokepark 2 Wonders Beyond is an action-adventure game developed by Creatures Inc. and published by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. The game was released worldwide during the 5th generation of the Pokemon series between the years 2011 and 2012. It was released as the sequel to Pokepark Pikachu's Adventure, and was also the last Pokemon game to release on the Wii before it was discontinued. In the game, you play as a group of Pokemon consisting of Pikachu, Oshawott, Snivy, and Tepig, each with their own strengths, weaknesses, and attack patterns. Throughout the game, you meet numerous Pokemon you can befriend, either by battling them, playing chase, or passing their quiz. These Pokemon will then be able to be summoned as temporary allies during future battles when you're in a pinch. The real-time battling system is well integrated and pretty simple. Just like the main games, each character has different advantages and disadvantages, as well as a handful of attacks. Some mapped to pressing or holding a specific button, and one you shake the Wii remote to use. You can also move around to avoid damage. They may occasionally ask for items or rematches, which will award you with coins or berries for completion. Both are used as currency for various purposes. As you explore, you may occasionally find puzzles, which can be solved by one of the 4 playable characters using their exclusive skills. Pikachu solves puzzles using Thunderbolt to power electric doors and open paths. Oshawott is the only character who can swim to cross bodies of water. Snivy can use Leaf Tornado to charge up special elevators, and finally Tepig can use Heat Crash to smash buttons and blocks to open new pathways as well. The world is broken up into 7 areas with subworlds in each, those being the Cove, Arbor, Crag, Tech, Wish Park, and Arcane areas, with the Arcane area being post-game content. Wish Park is technically a separate map broken up into its own individual areas with their own attractions, those being Cake Contraption, Dance Inferno, Power Bash, and Light of Fancy, and each one has their own mini-games tied to them. The final area is Wish Castle, which doesn't have an attraction, and instead is where the final boss is fought. Despite how convoluted all that sounded, I promise in practice the gameplay is actually very simple, and the game also does a good job of explaining how important things work before you're meant to do them, so you'll be able to get the hang of everything easily. The story of Pokepark 2 is probably one of my favorite parts of the game. Sometime following the end of the first game, Pikachu and Piplup have traveled to Pokepark, a place where Pokemon are free to hang out and meet new friends. However, upon arriving, they're lured by 2 Pokemon to a new world called Wish Park, which is supposed to be a place so fun you'll never want to leave. However, after opening the portal, you learn that whoever is behind it, it's Darkrai, is actively taking Pokemon there and using some form of hypnosis to force them into staying forever. Pikachu is able to escape, but as Darkrai approaches, Piplup is willingly left behind, and now it's up to Pikachu and his growing group of friends to travel Pokepark, solve the mystery behind Wish Park, and save the Pokemon that were taken there. While the story is presented in a very family-friendly way, because at the end of the day, it is Pokemon, when you dig deeper into the story, it's literally about forced kidnapping, and aside from that, this story goes to some dark places. However, I won't spoil them here, since I would appreciate anyone who hasn't yet to play the game if you can. I also want to discuss some of the main characters in this game, since many of them are very well fleshed out, and are another one of my favorite parts of the game. Pikachu is the protagonist. That's about it. He's kind, friendly, and brave, and that's his personality. It works for the story, but out of the main characters, he's probably the least fleshed out. Oshawott is a loyal detective and the first partner you meet. He's sent on the Wish Park mission by his superior, and at first he's unsure of letting you tag along on his mission. However, after proving yourself, he remains loyal to you throughout the rest of the story. The second partner you meet, and probably my favorite, is Snivy. She's the princess of the second area of the game, and she's very sassy, very fast, and very distrusting. When you first meet her, she doesn't trust anyone, believing that she's capable of handling the problem by herself. However, over the course of your adventure together, she slowly warms up to you and agrees to help out your team. The final partner you meet is Tepig. He's also brave like Pikachu, but can also be reckless and headstrong. He spends every day training for the big crag area tournament, despite most people around him doubting he would do anything but get himself hurt. While you travel with him, he enters the tournament and gets to finally show off his true strength. The group members individually aren't anything too crazy. However, when they're together and their personalities are able to bounce off each other, it can lead to some pretty fun interactions, which is the main reason I like them so much. The final major character I'd like to mention is the main antagonist himself, Darkrai. He rarely appears throughout the majority of the story, leaving most of the work to his allies. However, once you do meet face to face, he reveals that he designed Wish Park as a way to cure his own personal loneliness, and to make a place where no one would ever have to feel lonely again. However, upon learning that his little oopsie upset the balance and both worlds are about to be destroyed, he sacrifices himself to the vortex in order to close it from the other side, leaving him trapped. While some might say his arc is a bit rushed, I've always enjoyed it since they make it clear he doesn't mean to hurt anyone. But since he's the villain, and we only know our side of the story, whenever we're told that, we just take it as them being evil. We find out that he genuinely didn't know and was willing to doom himself to eternal loneliness and pay with his life to allow everyone to continue their lives. I like this game for many reasons. While I do find the gameplay fun, and while they aren't amazing necessarily, I feel that the story and characters are fairly underrated, as it feels like we don't get many Pokemon plots this dark very often anymore. With the flaws the game has, I can understand why people may not be huge fans of the game, but I definitely think it's worth a second chance if you have any way to. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Not gonna force you, do what you want. Thanks for tuning in, and that's a video. Bye.